Okay, Prof. We will start now.
Yes.
Good evening in Bangladesh. Good afternoon at Denmark. It's our pleasure that now we will start our webinar, Global Marketing Problems and Prospects in Pandemic. We have our keynote speaker, Svend Hollensen, is the Associate Professor of International Marketing at University of Southern Denmark. He has practical experience from his job as an international marketing, and he also the author of several books. You know, the globally published textbook is the Global Marketing 5th edition, and also he has the book regarding marketing management, and also the he's also the business consultant for several multinational companies as well as global organizations like World Bank. You know that global marketing is the part of marketing. It's a specialized skill, and you know, if marketing professionals do their job properly, they can catapult their company to the next level. And global marketing especially crucial for products and services that have universal demand. But now in this pandemic situation, the COVID-19 made imperative for business leadership to adopt strategies that enable business continuity, and it has changed the way the economy will function for the foreseeable future. There are some key challenges for CMOs, CXOs for becoming clearer with each passing day. Say for significantly reduced budget, rapidly changing marketing mix and messages, heightened focus on brand perception, and it increased the need to understand and apply technology. So regarding this, now we need to have a clear guideline, especially as the marketer and the future marketer. So hopefully this session will help us, especially you know, today's our participation as participants. They're the students of the Department of Marketing, Comilla University, Bangladesh. And here we have our Honorable Chairman, the Department of Marketing, Comilla University, Professor Dr. Mohammad Amjad Hossain Sarkar, and our participants as the MBA students and also the undergraduate students from the Department of Marketing, Comilla University, Bangladesh. So, you know, in this situation, there are some prospects that industries are thriving, like e-commerce is a whole booming in COVID-19. Online shopping, you know, it has a great impact in our industry, especially our, you know, in our subcontinent, and also the developed nation like UK. And you know, now another unprecedented growth that solved the consumer stay-at-home needs by video conferencing, especially Zoom. Now we are also connecting with our Prof. Hollensen through these opportunities, and mobile apps downloads users also growing quickly across the board, and you know, some sorts of information technology, it also related, and it's spend its budgets regarding this. But most of the industries, they try to cut down the regarding the COVID-19. So there are some sorts of challenges, this COVID-driven growth, and say for more people are turning to social media for connection and entertainment. And so the spread of inaccurate information around COVID-19 is also growing. In response, Facebook launched a service to alert users who have interacted with harmful misinformation about COVID-19. So hopefully, we'll get some clear guideline. Prof. Hollensen, he has a lot of experience. And I'd like to mention here that Prof. From the very beginning, Comilla University, the Department of Marketing, already our students, they are familiar with you through your book, which is textbook in our department for the MBA student. And I also like to welcome you, especially for your cooperation and also the participation in our webinar. So now I would like to request our honorable keynote speaker, Prof. Svend Hollensen, to share his speech with our participants.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I'll share my screen then and see what happens. Hopefully there is something being shown now. So can you see my screen now?
Yes, okay now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I hope you can all hear me. So yeah, welcome to my little speech here about global marketing problems and prospects in the pandemic time here. COVID-19 time is really a challenge, and but it's a pleasure for me to meet you all, meet you guys in Bangladesh. I have been to India several times, but I have never been to Bangladesh. So maybe some point in future I can also go to Bangladesh. So it's a pleasure for me to be here, and you have maybe seen here on the first slide here that I hope we can make knowledge great again. So a little bit inspiration here from the United States and the current president there. So we hope that we can make marketing knowledge, global marketing knowledge great again. And what I would like to talk about are all these challenges that we have in this time. But first, I would like to just go through very briefly the background of myself. So I'm an associate professor of international marketing at the University of Southern Denmark. That is also the logo that you see. SDU is the logo that we work with. I'm also connected to a university in Hamburg. So I actually live quite close to Hamburg, but on the Danish side of Germany. So then I also have my own company, and I work as a business consultant for several organizations. Also have worked for World Bank, and has been very exciting. To the left here, you see two of my main books, the Global Marketing book here, and the other one here is a marketing management book. I know that there has also been published some special versions for India, and I know there's also edition that was published some years ago for Bangladesh, I think. So a kind of, I don't know if I can't see it here, but there was a special version also for your part of this region. Furthermore, I'm also lately publishing in social media marketing, and I published this book here as a kind of self-publishing experiment, together with marketing guru Phil Kotler and Margot Bresnik, a colleague from Germany, from Lübeck in Germany. We published this social media marketing book that you can get through Amazon all over the world. I'm not sure if Amazon is present in Bangladesh, but at least it should be possible to get it through that organization. And it is based on self-publishing, so there is no big publisher behind this book. It's something we have developed ourselves and we publish ourselves. So it's a kind of answer to this trend in the book market, that there is a lot of piracy going on in the book market, and it's a kind of response to this trend that we want to control distribution of knowledge ourselves as authors. So we think it is a new trend. So it's a kind of disruptive business model that we're trying to introduce. And maybe you also will have access to this book. And I'll talk actually today about this book. In Denmark, I'm living in the south of Denmark, in a small town called Sønderborg. If you know a little bit about Denmark, you know we have a capital called Copenhagen. It's over here. We have Sweden here, yeah, UK is to the left over here somewhere. And down south of where I live, there's Germany. So down here somewhere there is Hamburg, and that's actually the biggest city close to where I live. So this is part of where I live. The university where I work is to the right here. This series of buildings here is the university. And actually I live on this, it's an island here. So here I live. So this is small Denmark. Maybe you know a little bit about Denmark. Maybe you know our most famous fairy tale writer is Hans Christian Andersen. And that is maybe the most famous person coming out of Denmark, beside our football players, Schmeichel and Laudrup brothers in soccer or football. But beside that, we have this very famous person, Hans Christian Andersen, who wrote all these fantastic fairy tales for kids. I'll talk about the consequences of the COVID-19 times. And my first sentence, I think, maybe is the most important one. So we are stuck as persons. We cannot go anywhere right now because of the COVID-19, but data are flowing across borders more than ever, okay? That is an important statement, that as physical persons, we are stuck, but data are flowing more than ever. Because this has consequences for the way we communicate. And that means also that the social media marketing will be much more important. The whole e-commerce, social media will be more important in future, because now we have learned to communicate with Zoom and with Teams and all these different tools. So that will be the future. I'm quite sure about that. So there has been a kind of disruption now in communication over the last months, since March, and that will change forever. So this is also something that has been the theme for a new documentary on Netflix. I don't. Can you see Netflix in Bangladesh? Yeah.
Yes, bro.
So if you have the chance, take a look at this new US documentary called The Social Dilemma. It's very, very interesting. It looks at some of the backsides of the whole social media trend. So if you have access or have the opportunity to look at Netflix, please take a look at this documentary. It's very interesting. But else, I'll try to go through some of the key models within social media marketing. So one of the key models that I have used many times, and also my students have used it many times, is the so-called 6C model. And that is somehow what is happening. It is explaining and describing what is happening in the social media world. So the first C here is the company that pushes some content here into an online community. On the way, it somehow crosses the control border here. So when it has crossed this control border, it is in this community, and then the company has already lost some control because it has partly been taken over maybe by some market influencers here that will try to push the content further into the core online community here. So and when it is landing here, you know, the communication is somehow going by itself. Because it is, if it is successful, the content is spreading very fast as a kind of viral communication among different customers here. So that is this kind of 6C model. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 Cs. So and of course, there is also a kind of feedback here to the company, depending on possible things that has to be changed. It is not that the company can never have any feedback. You know, if they have organized it well, they can get some feedback, but they must also realize that when they crosses this control border here, they are somehow more dependent on the influencers here to push further on the content into the core word of mouth communication. This is another of the models I like, because this model here describes what is really the purpose with social media marketing, and that is to bring as many potential customers by using offline and online communication, and try to bring potential customers into the funnel here. So this is a kind of sales funnel here. And to bring in as many customers as possible, we use both offline and online media. So here are somehow the offline media, offline advertising, print, TV, radio, PR, outdoor posters, and so on. And word of mouth, you know, physical communication, that still goes on, you know. It's not taken totally over by Zoom and other tools, but so it still goes on. So these are offline tools, and here we have 2 examples of online tools, search engine optimization in order to get the message on the high level of Google search, and then some online ads. These are examples of online communication. So in combination, offline and online communication would try to bring in as many potential customers into the funnel as possible, and then they have already gained some awareness, and then it is about trying to engage these potential customers, and there we use market influencers in order to get some blogging going, some social posts, use retargeting, place some ads elsewhere in order to get the potential customers back in the sales funnel if they have left it on the way. That is retargeting. And I guess some of the other words there are well known. So it is about engaging potential customers, and then hopefully at some point they will buy something, and that is the e-commerce then is taking over then from that point. And if you are satisfied with the product, service, then you may come back, and you would also be willing to advocate this site to other customers, and you are getting into a kind of loyal stage. So you are a loyal customer, and you return to the engagement stage here. So that is the online, the loyalty loop here that is going on. So that is the sales funnel, and I think it's very important to use this in social media. So it's important to extend the understanding of marketing when we talk about the social media marketing, because here we use the traditional marketing concepts like push and pull. Push is when you try to shout out the message to as many people as possible, and pull is trying to use the magnet to try and get customers to come to you. So this kind of combination is not only used in traditional marketing, it's also used online. So I think that is important to realize. And then we have divided the media, social media, into 3 categories. Also important to realize: paid, owned, and earned media. The paid media are the ones that we pay in order to get customers into the funnel. And here are some examples: print, television, radio, cinema, etc. So we use paid media to get people into the funnel, and then we try to attract them to our own website. That is something we own ourselves. So that could be the main thing here, to attract potential customers to the company website. And then we try to engage people in the sales funnel, and then we make use of earned media. So that is where we have all this kind of dialogue with the potential customers. We try to engage them into the buying process, where we get the actual buying done. So paid, owned, and earned media. It's important to categorize social media into these 3. Then if we talk about market influencers, we have many different layers. We have mega influencers with 1 million or more followers. We have macro that represents half to 1 million followers. Mid-tier influencers. We have micro influencers, and even nano influencers. So nano influencers are very specialized market influence that have a very specialized number of followers, and these can go down even to 1,000 followers, and they can really be variable valuable because they have special knowledge. Okay, they can have special knowledge about technical issues, about special areas, and therefore making use of nano followers nano influences can sometimes for small companies be worthwhile considering. And they are also much cheaper to use than mega influencers. So it's also cheaper to use nano and micro influencers here. So I have some examples to show also. Let's look at some examples. I have one company here in nearby that is specialized in selling diapers, and they try to come into the US market for diapers. And this is an example of a company who is actually using a mega influencer, okay? But that is not always relevant. The company itself is not big. You know, it is, yeah, less than 2,000 employees. But they are quite globalized. They are over most of the world there. So they are in healthcare and then also in diapers for kids. So they wanted to get into the US market for diapers. US market is the biggest market in the world, 6 billion US dollar in the US market alone, 50 billion US dollar worldwide. And the market is dominated by two players, Procter & Gamble with Pampers and the Kimberly-Clark company with Huggies. And so this company wanted to get into the market, and for that reason, they tried to develop their own brand. So until this point, this company has only sold diapers by private label. So they sell under the store brands like Aldi or Lidl brand, the German discounters. So they sell under their diaper brands. But here they wanted to develop their own brand. And they did that. And then they used a mega influencer, and they used the Kardashians. Do you know Kardashians in Bangladesh? They are more or less world famous. There has been a reality TV series about them. So it is quite interesting family. At this point, one of the Kardashians were pregnant, and that was Khloe Kardashian. So somehow she found out that this company from Denmark has new diaper, a green, a kind of green label, and she found out, and she thought that this is interesting. So she made a contact to the Danish company, and then the Danish company said, okay, yes, interesting. Maybe we can make a cooperation and you try to make some advertising for our diaper brand in the US market. And they did that together with the Amazon. So they have sold, they start selling this new brand from this company, Abena, through the Amazon. And it is very interesting to look at how can the Kardashians influence as mega influencers? How can they really influence even stock price? So at one point, Kylie Jenner. So this is the family. You know, some of the family members. This is Chris. Kendall, this is Kylie Jenner and Kim Kardashian. She's probably the most famous one. So, but Kylie, she's the most rich girl of the family. So at some point she made a comment about Snapchat. So she thought Snapchat is not that cool. And immediately after she has made this comment on Twitter, the Snapchat stock dropped 6%, and they lost 1.3 billion in market value. So that is just to say, you know, these mega influencers, they have enormous power. So therefore, it is kind of risky business to work with mega influencers, because it can either go up, it can also go down if they make a negative comment about your product. But in this case, the company, this Abena company with this new brand, they actually double their sales in the US market because of this mega influencer Kardashian. So and not only they doubled sales, they also doubled they also got double the profits, because they could also get a much higher profit margin in the US market. They could charge higher price than in the European market, where they mainly sold the diaper under a private label. So that is quite an interesting case, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I have already gone over time now, so maybe we should just close here and ask if there.
You can continue.
Okay. So you're still with me?
Yes, yes, no problem.
Okay, I see even 65 is joining now. Okay, yeah, interesting. So let's continue and go a little bit further beyond the Kardashian family. So what I say is that sometimes it's good to work with mega influencers, okay? But in other cases, it can be more valuable to work with micro or even nano influencers, because they have specialized knowledge that they can communicate into an online community. So that is maybe making sense also for some companies in Bangladesh, that you try to work with micro influencers or even nano influencers, and it's also cheaper, much cheaper than working with mega influencers like Kardashians. They're extremely expensive to work with, and it's really risky. But this company from Denmark, they really had big success with it, so you can also be successful. So this is just a few slides that is showing how you can work with market influencers. So this is one way you can work with it as a company here. These are 3 Danish companies. This is actually German, Aldi discounter. This is Carlsberg beer. Do you know beer from Denmark? Maybe it's, you know, Carlsberg. Or you may know Lego. It's a kind of a toy company. Make plastic bricks. You know, also a famous company of Denmark. So when one of these companies, they would like to use market influences, for example, for the Danish market, they will then get in contact with an agency. For example, this company here from Denmark called Bloggers Delight, that is one of the biggest in Denmark. And they will then find the best influencers here on the left side for the different campaigns of these companies here. So it's a kind of matchmaking agency here. This way of connecting market influences with the companies has then been in a kind of development. So what we see now are some new players in this game or this industry. So what we see now is, for example, this Swedish company called Society Icon, and they make it easier for companies to get in contact with the market influencers. So here there is, in this kind of model, there is a more direct connection between the companies here, the customers, and the market influencers here, because there is a trend that there more a clear, a direct connection between companies and market influence without using agencies, because agencies are also eating up some of the profits. So of course there is some wish also to make a more direct link here. So this platform here, Society Icon, is a platform where the companies can upload their campaigns or campaign proposals. And then influencers here can make their proposal how they can help the companies to make influence in the market. So that is another model where there is a kind of more better contact or more contact between the companies here and the market influencers over here. So it is another model, and I think the whole market influencer area is really developing these years. So the influencers here make, in principle, then some application on this platform here, and then the companies here can choose among the different applicants here that would like to help as a market influencer. So that is another principle of using market influencer. So just to end up, I have also a kind of role as a market influencer. So lately there was a professor publishing the ranking of people who have most followers on LinkedIn. And you see the ranking here worldwide. And actually I'm down here somewhere just after Phil Kotler. And so I'm number 17 on this ranking with 27,225 followers on LinkedIn. Okay, so I thought, why not try and use this? I use this number of followers when I launched my latest 8th edition of global marketing. So I did it very fast, very inexpensive. So I just took a picture in front of my house here, where I showed the book and said it is official publishing date for my book, and here it is, and you can get some insight into the book here. And then this was followed up by my publisher, because my publisher is Pearson, so they followed up with some further posts. So they did one post where they said something about, now our author Svend Hollensen has published his new edition. So they made this post here, and then of course I reshare into my network. And this kind of resharing is of course quite effective. So if any of you work with LinkedIn, it is very effective to let somebody else try and post something about your brand, and then you can reshare. Okay, that is a good trick that I can recommend. I try to measure actually the effect of this kind of number of views that I got from this kind of campaign. My own post here, just one day after, I had 11,729 posts, views on the post. And then on this reshare that I did for the Pearson, I got more than 7,000 just one day after. So in total, a little less than 20,000. This was a number of likes and number of comments on the third here. So you see already after 24 hours, you can get a lot of attention and also discussion among some of your followers. Then I also try to measure after 1 week these two posts here, my own post and the reshare here. So at 1 week after, I got these figures here. So you see here, here I got nearly 30,000 compared to 19,000 here. But still, it is important to say that most of the response you actually get very, very fast after you have published your post and reshare. So it's important to really follow the response the hours after your post on LinkedIn. So that is somehow my conclusion. And it is always a good thing to make some pictures or even some videos. We only did some pictures, some photos, but you can also do, of course, some videos. And the good thing about LinkedIn is that you can go into statistics about LinkedIn, the response you get, and you can see where is the response coming from in terms of companies. What are the jobs, job profiles of your views, and where are the views coming from in terms of regions and areas of the world. And actually you can see that most of the response came from local, from Denmark, and also partly from UK, but still it is concentrated around Denmark. So it's also quite interesting. So even if it is global, it's still quite local. So I think that was all. So if there are any, so maybe you can recognize these two. Okay, these were two of the characters from Muppet Show. Okay, so maybe there are a few questions after this. So
Okay,
please.
Prof, thank you. I have some questions from our students.
Yeah.
So Mr. Mahamadul, here's the question that if Bangladeshi diaper company want to enter Danish market,
Yeah.
what should the strategy and which one will be successful?
In order to enter the Danish market with this diaper here, I would also recommend the company to use some kind of not mega influencer, because we are not having any Kardashians in Denmark. But I would still recommend the company to use some kind of local well-known characters, because here the diapers are somehow a consumer product, right? It would be different if it had a business-to-business product. I would probably recommend a company to use micro or nano influencers, but with consumer products like a diaper, I would recommend to use some kind of well-known character, maybe an actor or some well-known person. But that would not be a mega influencer, maybe some kind of macro influencer.
Another question from Tamim Rahul. So if we fail to invent COVID-19 vaccine like AIDS, then what will be the future of global market?
If we get a vaccine, I still think that we will be confronted with a kind of stock at home for a very, very long time, much longer than we think today, you know. So I think we should not believe the Trump administration that claims that on the 3rd of November everything will be solved and we will be happy, and then all problems will be gone. No, I think we will be confronted with the COVID-19 issue for a very, very long time. So even when we get a vaccine, it will take some time before we get used to this new situation. And I think all the things that we have learned through the COVID-19 time, we will continue. Like we do now, so instead of me traveling to Bangladesh, I can sit at home and do some lecturing, and so this will continue, I'm sure. So the world has changed forever, I'm sure. We have new ways to communicate. And that will not be changed. We will find new ways now, electronic with the online communication. We'll find new ways to communicate, and that will be even more in future, I think. But the COVID-19 has accelerated this trend.
Here's the supplement question. They say for influencer marketing or social media marketing, which one will be the best choice for the company?
Once more, the first I didn't hear.
Influencer marketing.
Influencer market, yeah.
Influencer marketing or social media marketing, which one will be the best choice for the company?
So influencer marketing is part of social media marketing. So that is important to remember. It is so influencer marketing is a part of social media marketing. So you have to you should use both, of course. And it is not enough just to use influencer marketing. You should combine influencer marketing with other tools, because you want to get people or potential customers into the funnel. And there you also have to use offline media as TV advertising or print media. So these offline media are still relevant in order to get people into the funnel. So when you get people into the funnel, you can use influencer marketing quite effectively. But you have to combine influencer marketing with the other tools.
Okay, Prof. Here we have also our lecturer for department, Mr. Mahfuz Rahman. He has the question that, do you think that the effectiveness of traditional customer loyalty and e-loyalty is equal?
I think these two terms are really, relevant, both of them still. So the traditional way of understanding customer loyalty is something we can transfer into the online world. So it is still highly relevant. So it is not that the traditional marketing, traditional concepts are disappearing. They are still relevant. So traditional marketing planning is still very relevant. It is just that you may use social media more in order to get people engaged in these times, and also in future, I think more.
Prof, if you allow another question from our student, Raji Mahadin, which markets are more attractive now, developed, emerging, or frontier markets?
What kind of markets?
Developed, emerging, or frontier markets?
developed markets or once more?
Emerging market.
Emerging markets. So which ones are? I think emerging markets, and I also tell people here in Denmark, they should really. Now we have this problem with the COVID-19, but in on longer term, companies I think will focus more on emerging markets, like Bangladesh. I think for several reasons, because your economy will grow in future. Maybe not now because there are other problems right now, but in future I think economy will grow, and it will be attractive for also Danish companies to go and focus on countries like Bangladesh in the future. And I think companies like Bangladesh will take over much of production that is currently in China. I think India has already taken over some, but also Bangladesh is relevant to focus on. So I think in that regard, you can look into a bright future because the educational level, as I understand, in Bangladesh is quite high. You are smart people, and so I think you can look into a bright future.
Okay, Prof. This is the question, last question from me, that now more consumers staying home, but like Bangladesh and the developing nations, the broadband infrastructure in markets worldwide has been struggling to cope with the demand. Say for Netflix, YouTube, Amazon, Facebook, all they're reducing their streaming quality in also Europe, and to free up the bandwidth for other vital services.
Yeah.
So now you see that Netflix also reduced the video quality in Malaysia to decrease overall network traffic in the country by 25%. So actually, as the global marketer, what are the challenges to face this problem and to overcome this?
Yeah, the bandwidth of internet has been an issue lately, and I guess also in your country, also in Denmark actually, because we have used so much of the bandwidth for just communicating like this. So the bandwidth for Netflix has been decreased also in Denmark. But it's not really visible. So maybe it has been decreased, but here it has no big influence on the quality, at least not for the visual eye. But I guess maybe in your country there could be a bigger problem, and then you have to make pressure on your government and other stakeholders to expand the online bandwidth of the internet and come up with 5G solutions. So that is another discussion we have had here in my part of the world, that you probably know that the Chinese Huawei has been trying to enter to penetrate many European markets, also the US market, of course, but also Huawei, the Chinese Huawei, have tried to enter many European markets with their 5G technology. And it has been under a big discussion, and is under big discussion right now if they should be allowed to enter. But I guess you are somehow also in that discussion in your country, right? But it is an issue, especially for developing and emerging markets. It is an issue to upgrade the internet connections. So in my country, you know, Denmark is one of the highest ranked on the speed of internet. We have internet coverage overall here, and the internet connections are quite good. But it is still an issue in some other countries. But here it is perfect. But I know it's a kind of issue in other parts of the world. But it's a very interesting discussion, because I guess that a company like Huawei would like to penetrate the 5G technology also in Bangladesh. But you're probably more aware of what the state is right now. So can you answer if the Huawei is in Bangladesh right now? They are?
Yes, we have Huawei available in the country. Yes.
Okay, so they are developing their solution there.
But
I
right
guess
now their market position is not good as like before.
No, we are not allowing Huawei. We actually use a Swedish neighbor called Ericsson as the 5G supplier. I think from a technical point of view, I think Huawei has the best solution, no doubt about it.
Yeah, yes.
But then the political issue is topping. Okay, so therefore the political issue is a bigger problem than the technical solution. But from a technical point of view, I think Huawei has the best solution right now. But you know, there are some other issues coming in here, because Denmark has United States as a dear friend and a dear partner. So therefore, we don't want to have a United States as an enemy. That would be stupid of our small country. Maybe you have heard that the American President Trump tried to buy Greenland. Did you hear that? It's a very interesting story. So Denmark has a close cooperation with Greenland, and it's actually a part of Denmark. And Donald Trump wanted to buy Greenland at some point, and we did not allow him. So at that point, the friendship between Denmark and United States was not so good. And Mr. Trump, he does not like if Denmark choose Huawei as the key supplier for 5G. Then we will not be friends with the United States. Not right now, at least. Maybe the situation from 3rd of November may change, but right now we are a small country, so we have to listen to our partner there, United States. So, but I guess you are more independent, right?
And it's not like that. It's not so.
It's not so simple, maybe.
It's not so simple as a developing country. It's quite difficult from but rather than Denmark. It's quite difficult for us.
Yeah. Okay. So, but it's
Okay,
a very
Prof,
interesting discussion. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Prof. I would like to request now our guest, Professor Dr. Mohd Amdad-Hussain Sarkar, who is the chairman of the Department of Marketing, Comilla University, Bangladesh, and also the former dean of the Faculty of Business Studies, Comilla University. Sir, please, you can share your views with us.
Thank you, Dr. Mohammad Sulaiman, Associate Professor, Department of Marketing, Comilla University, Bangladesh. And today's webinar moderator. Here presents Mr. Mahfuzur Rahman, co-host, lecturer of Department of
So
Marketing.
loud, please.
Okay. I would like to thanks Professor Hollensen to participate today's webinar. Actually, we are happy. We are happy just getting you as a keynote speaker. You are very glad to know that all of my students, my ex-students, they are waiting for listening of your lectures. And also the Department of Marketing, we feel proud just for your presence. And I would like to thank all of my students. 2 days, they are actually giving their time, their patience to listening your lectures, and you explain that actually how today's marketer actually they will be success in future in this global COVID-19 situation. And also I would like to thank all of the participants are joining in this session, and I hope that in future we will invite you to come on come to our country like Bangladesh.
Yeah.
And
Thank
also
you.
and also you will visit our university. You know, this our university is farthest from our capital city Dhaka, only 90 kilometers.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
And we will invite you, and hope you will join with us in future. And our students and our colleagues, our teachers will be benefited from your today's lectures. You nicely explained with figure how the social media actually they perform a significant role to boost up the marketing and to make the awareness toward the customers, how to make the loyal customers. So thank you, Svend Hollensen, to participate to us, and we are very happy. We are very happy just listening your lectures. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And as I also indicated, if any of you are on LinkedIn, you're welcome to connect to me, and you know, I'll also connect to you then, and then you can also have access to my network. So that is an offer for you guys. So thank you very much. It was nice to see all the faces also. So and some also have their cameras turned on. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'd like
Now
to request
I'm just to go back
participants.
to our moderator, Dr. Mohammed Sulaiman.
Okay. So I'd like to request all participants, please, your video you should on, and I think you can take the snap or the picture with our keynote speaker, Svend Hollensen, our distinguished professor, and you'll see his face on your textbook. Now he's with us. It's our pleasure, Prof. And I also like to invite you in our country. And you know, your book Indian edition, though this is helpful, but as the emerging market, now a lot of case study you can also collect from our country. So hopefully in your next edition, we'll get some sorts of example or case studies from Bangladesh. And thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So
Thank you. Take care and have a nice evening. Goodbye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so
Goodbye.
much. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for your nice presentation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.